gamers of Reddit, what's your best moment of total immersion? The first time that I played Amnesia, I followed the suggestion to play in the dark with headphones on. I was at the part where something is in the water below you and you're jumping from box to box. It was 4 years ago, so that's about as specific as I can be, and I started feeling like I was having a full-on panic attack. The room felt like it was shaking. My heart was racing, and I was having a hard time focusing on the monitor. Finally I paused the game because it became too much for me to handle. When I took off the headphones I realized that a train was passing by my apartment. I lived maybe 30 feet from a train track, and my apartment was actually shaking in real life. It took me a while to come back to Amnesia after that experience, but I have never been so terrified by a video game before. I couldn't play this. Got too scared. Never went back to it. Horror games are on another level these days compared to old classics like Resident Evil. Discovering that first shout in Skyrim. I was in a dark room by myself with headphones, maximumed out on volume. When the screen started getting wavy and the chanting started, I was just so immersed, since I didn't expect it at all. Playing Thief, the Dark Project. Hiding in a corner with a guard nearby when my flatmate comes home and slams a door. I almost hiss at him to keep quiet because the guard will hear sound. It's important. I love sound design in games where you're supposed to not make any. Hearing a scream or gunshot in Metro 2033 makes me jump like nothing else. I was playing GTA 5 and was driving to my next mission. A song came on the radio I never heard before and was good. I got to the destination, but the song wasn't over, so I pulled in a parking spot, checked my phone, and finished the song in the car before going in for my mission. I feel like people don't want to say GTA in threads like this because of how mainstream it is, but GTA 5 has a lot of very immersive moments. For me it was when Michael dives off of the dock to swim to the yacht, and he is immediately greeted by the reef and beautiful underwater scenery. Edit, they really need some single player DLC. New multiplayer content is sort of neat, but I'd love a new campaign. When I was desperately hiding from the xenomorph in Alien Isolation, praying it wouldn't find my locker I was hiding in. Needless to say, the motion detector got louder and louder. Then I was ripped out and got my head smashed with its mini mouth tongue. RIP. One of the scariest games I've played due to the suspense, and it's incredibly immersive. Plus I love the movies, so that helped me be immersed as well. Carrot. When I discovered there was an option on Xbox to enable the Kinect, that elevated the game to another level for me. I can only stomach about 30 minutes of gameplay at a time because it is just that stressful. The sound design, music, and overall environment is so spot on for the original movie that I'm instantly taken back to the terror I felt when I first watched it. And then you throw in the fact that any involuntary yelp or curse from me is going to be heard by the in-game enemies. It's delightful. Me and 4 of my friends were playing some BF1 on Operations. It is the most immersive thing ever to see roughly 40 people all charge of a hill and slowly seeing people getting slaughtered and just hoping to God one of the dozens of explosions of Suga does not kill you. Operations are amazing. Working with a squad when I'm in a plane spotting for them and seeing a team swarm a sector. Such an experience. How do I find people like this? When I play nobody does Sugathi are supposed to. RDR where I riding out in the middle of desert and the weather changes. Starts pouring rain and lighting flashes. Then my horse up and dies out from under me. My character rolls across the ground. I get up and I'm confused as hell. Then lightning flashes and I see a mountain lion. Because of the little flash of light. No time to react. Mauled by mountain lion. Coolest way to die, and I had no idea the game had them. My encounter in RDR was while I was hunting bears in the forest. I'm doing my thing when out of nowhere a guy comes running through the trees yelling that they are going to kill his wife. I hop on my steed and ride to the clearing where she's hung. The horse under her runs away and she starts choking. I shoot the rope freeing her and put a bullet into the skulls of her attacker. She's saved. Her husband is overjoyed, crying tears of joy. At that moment a bear comes tearing through the trees and mauls her, disappearing back into the wild mere seconds later. The man W. Harlot was just overjoyed, falls to his knees in shock, I just sit there on my horse and decide, welp, nothing for me to do here. Yeah. And right away, you could have put him out of his misery. Probably at the end of Assassin's Creed 2. Closed bracket comma. When the goddess thing turns to the camera and starts talking directly to you. I missed the fact that she was actually talking to Desmond and thought she had broken the fourth wall and was talking to me. I freaked out only a little bit. Try playing MGS1 and having sick harlot mantis read your memory card and counter your battle tactics, only for you to plug your controller in the second port and render him useless. Now that was a mindfuck. Lol. Wasn't there also a boss W harlot told dire voltage if you set your clock forward? My computer blue screen during the Omega Flowy fight in Undertale. For a solid 5 minutes I was convinced it was part of the game. When the game closed before that fight, my computer popped up that this program has encountered an unexpected error message. So I thought it was a legit crash, only to be even more freaked out when I started up the game and it didn't start up quite the same way. When I accidentally drove full speed off a cliff in Far Cry 3, it came out of nowhere. I pressed myself back into my couch, squirming. Sheer terror coursing through my body as I held the controller out at arm's length like a steering wheel. It was both the best and worst immersive moment I've had in a video game. I had a similar thing when I went swimming in Far Cry. I didn't know Far Cry 3 had sharks, and I was calmly swimming to an island when I got attacked by one. I screamed bloody murder and freaked out, only to quickly run back inland. Mine was when I was playing Fallout Envy a couple years ago. I was traversing through the Recon headquarters, scavenging for any supplies I might need on the road. Suddenly, I heard thunder that sounded so real I swore that there was a storm outside. I ran up from the depths of my basement, only to find it was a bright and sunny day outside. I was so immersed in the game that I thought that the sound coming from my TV was actually happening. I've never had that happen since. One of the biggest shocks I've ever had in a game was when I was in Jacobstown. When I went to leave the town, the super mutant guard started sprinting at me quick as lightning, and that's when the TV and all power in the house blacked out. I legit had no idea what just happened and was legit freaked out after the power got cut. Impeccable timing makes for some really memorable moments. Super obvious answer, but all gillied up from Call of Duty 4. Laying in the grass while tanks rolled right next to me. I caught myself holding my breath as they were going by. Probably the best mission in any COD game. Absolute classic. Dating myself here, but Star Wars Galaxies jumped to light speed. I was acting as a flight instructor to a couple of guildmates new to the space combat portion of the game. Basically I was hanging back and letting them get XP and making sure they didn't get trounced while giving pointers over our team speak. The new guys blundered into a higher level NPC spawn in their starter ships. I was flying my PvP heavy X-Wing just for giggles. I swooped in and went for offensive, taking out an enemy ship with every shot while telling them to clear out. 7 kills later, I hear, "Holy shit, mailman, I thought you just repaired a badass pilot." In my headset, I had to laugh because on my server, I wasn't even in the top 20 badass pilots and NPCs. Granted, they did seem like doom on the hoof to 2 guys taking out their starter Z95s for the first time, wound up guiding them back for repairs while going over droid commands with them. But yeah, that was my video game moment of zen. I still kinda miss the space portion of that game, and I wish one of the emulator projects would get it up and running. In Metal Gear Revengeance, when you finally get to fight Jetstream Sam, if you lock onto him and tilt your thumbstick slightly, he'll follow you, and you'll both do that super cool sword fight circle each other thing, waiting for someone to make the first move. Please click subscribe if you enjoyed this video.